Hey people, it's Fresh Mark Sense, another fresh review, aka Zest for Life. Today I'll be checking out two perfumes that one that I already know and I've reviewed from before, Jaipur EDP, and I'm comparing it to something that I've recently made that I call still quite new, lemon pine winds. So it's the idea of something that, or this is the sort of the hint of it, but I call it traverse. Basically it's the idea of something aquatic yet woodsy and slightly lemon fresh at the same time. So very holiday vibes, yet uplifting, pine wood, windy smell. So like as if the breath of fresh air has come through the pine woods and is reinvigorating you with a very fresh lemon, and definitely at the end it has some rose and nutmeg just to keep it a little bit more masculine with a musky note. So the first one is Jaipur EDP. Now I've reviewed this before. It's by Boucheron, and it's honey benzoin. It starts off with lemon verbena. Also it ends with was it Peru balsam and benzoin, and it has a little bit of jasmine and lily of the valley in the middle. But that jasmine is kind of like a very honeysuckle, sweet, honeyed effect. So I was comparing the honeyed light summer effect to something quite aquatic, and I wanted to get sort of a few opinions. There was a few compliments around, but it was mainly from the fresh one. And the benzoin in Jaipur, if you spray a little bit too much, it could actually burn your skin. Not burn, but cause some irritation if you are sweating, because I tested it this time. I always recommend Jaipur EDP as a summer perfume, but I tested it this time after sweating a little bit. And if you are perspiring, if you do spray perfume on the part of where you are perspiring on the neck, that can actually give you a rash, or it could give you a little bit of irritation if you have sensitive skin. So Jaipur EDP, let's spray it. As I said, it has lemon verbena in the middle, but it's not really the lemon that you get. You get like a jasmine and honeysuckle, honey blossom feel to it, with the Peru balsam and benzoin. It's a little bit of cinnamon in the mid as well. So you get a light, sweet dusting of cinnamon with the dewiness of lily of the valley. The honey note comes in from I believe there's orange blossom in here, but on Fragrantica the notes are a little bit confused. But I feel that the Peru balsam gives it a very treacle-like, soft vanilla texture, and that honey dew-like lily of the valley gives it a very powdery, musky, delicate and bright feel with the lemon verbena. Lemon verbena isn't a very sharp characteristic of this perfume. I think it just opens it up with a Chanel, Bleu de Chanel, so eau de parfum, sort of lemon zesty creaminess of lemon. So it's not too overpowering, but it does have a very sweetness, very sweet characteristic about it, with the benzoin and cinnamon that some people could find a little bit cloying, but I enjoy the sweetness. Although some women actually, when I've tested it, check it out on Fresh Mark Sense as well. Actually, I done a review on Jaipur EDP, and some women said it actually smelled a little bit feminine. So it's interesting. It divided the line, Jaipur EDP, and now we're gonna get on to the pine, lemon pine winds. Yes, the permanent markers seem to have worn off a little bit, but here we go. We have Mercedes the Move in here, which is got some apple blossom, which is a fantasy note of apple orchard blossoming. Then you get some lemon aquatic notes, geranium, sea salt in here from the Mercedes-Benz Move. It's very salty, minerally, aquatic. It's got the sweetness of apple blossom. Then you get some of that Mandarina de Amalfi aqua twist to it, which is the lemon oil, which keeps it citric and sharp at the same time, with those bright bubbly aquatic notes from there. You get a little bit and then after I mixed it a little bit with Jimmy Choo Man Blue to mix a herbaceous note of pine fir in the Mercedes-Benz Move in the base, to create something slightly more herbaceous, and sort of emphasize that with Jimmy Choo Man's cypress note, Jimmy Choo Man Blue's cypress note, and the geranium continues that salty, minty, aquatic theme without overbearing it. There is a slight leather note in here, which keeps it masculine, and what I wanted to create is something masculine, airy, holiday vibe, but at the same time aquatic and fresh. So holiday vibe, masculine, aquatic and fresh. So the Mandarina de Amalfi, it has a slightly masculine edge with the civet and musk, and I really enjoy that. But I feel that when you add some Mercedes-Benz Move, the herbaceous note of pine wood, it's kind of in contrast. It's kind of at odds with the rest of the fragrance. It's sort of a extended piece of the fragrance Mercedes-Benz Move, that you have this geranium, salty, aquatic, and then you have this herbaceous component to the end. So I thought I'd join it with Jimmy Choo Man Blue's cypress, leather, geranium, and sage to keep it herbaceous and fresh. Then I added a little bit of Mancera's Wild Python, which is about 3 sprays like that, just to give some very fresh orange blossom and bergamot. So the orange blossom with salty notes and aquatic notes keeps it refreshing and bright. The geranium throughout with the Jimmy Choo Man Blue, and also the salty aquatic notes from Mandarina de Amalfi keep it very holiday-esque, with the apple blossom from Mercedes-Benz Move continuing to create a herbaceous and sweet aquatic vibe. And then at the end I added just a little bit of Chanel Egoist, that's the one, because Chanel Egoist has a very bright opening, yet it has the contrast of Bulgarian rose and nutmeg. Now nutmeg emphasizes the herbaceous notes of sage and cypress in the and Mandarina de Amalfi's tarragon, which is a sweet green note, and the Mercedes-Benz pine tree note at the end, the pine fir tree note. So we have something herbaceous and aquatic, and the nutmeg emphasizes all the woods in this perfume. So and it has a very sparkling opening, the Chanel Egoist, which is almost like crystalline, like a glacier fresh. So that really redoubles the brightness of the bubbles of Mandarina de Amalfi's aqua note, which is refreshed with a bit of mandarin and the lemon oil and citric lemon on the top. So all in all, when I spray this, let's see if there's a, because when you make a perfume, you have to have a running theme. If I had 15 words to describe it, that means it hasn't got a scent profile. So what I have over here is something aquatic, masculine, fresh, and slightly herbaceous. It really takes the odd note of Mercedes-Benz the Move and attaches it to something more piney, fresh, and more complex. What I have over here is something aquatic, herbaceous, a little bit pine, fresh, and masculine at the same time, with the leather and sage notes. So opening again with some apple blossom, we get the Mandarina de Amalfi's mandarin note, slight green tarragon. The bubbles from the aquatic note is there, mixing with the glacial bergamot freshness from Chanel Egoist to keep a very refreshing and icy vibe with the ice, with the aquatic notes, and geranium in the middle from Mercedes-Benz Move, the geranium from Jimmy Choo Man Blue, and the refreshing amber and musk note from Mandarina de Amalfi Aqua to create something that is great for holidays. And be wearing it in the autumn or winter, because this is definitely a going out summer scent for daytime. Definitely check it out, and if you want to know more about this, you can comment in the section if you want to buy your own sample of Lemon Pine Winds. Check it out, stay free and stay fresh.